Hello, everybody. Happy, what fucking day is it? Wednesday. We are getting more basketball. We're not going a full 9 days without basketball. 8 days, whatever it would be. We are getting a game 5 in this series. The Celtics stay alive. Don't let us win one, man. Don't let us win one. Uh-oh. I've never seen anything quite like this. This does happen. I tweeted about this yesterday and talked about this. That 3-0 series, 3-0 series, I don't really like, just because they do end up getting very annoying. Where it's like, more often than not, they do it in sweeps. But the moment a team that's down 3-0 wins one game, it's like, oh shit, here we go. And it's just, I don't see it. I still don't see it. I'm a little bit concerned for a couple of reasons for the Heat. It's just an interesting thing, like this series being 3-0, because more often than not in basketball, especially, if you go up 3-0, it's, because you're the better team. Like, just go look throughout history. Like, the Sixers this year were up 3-0 on the Nets. Yeah, because they're way better. Right? The Nuggets up 3-0 on the Lakers, right? That series was close and competitive, but they were just better. And it made sense. This one is a little bit interesting because even though the Heat have been playing out of their fucking minds, they're clearly not better. You know what I mean? They're clearly not better. But it's just so hard for me to imagine a team losing 4 straight games. And especially a team coached by Eric Spoelstra. A team that has Jimmy Butler on it. It's just very hard for me to imagine that team losing 4 straight times. But the Celtics came out. They took care of business. You got to give them props. Whenever their back is up against the wall, they do come out to play. He lost just so Jimmy can win the Larry Bird Trophy in Boston. I did see that, but I've seen people say that. I mean, you don't want to risk this thing going any further than it needs to, but we'll see, man. If the Celtics take care of business tomorrow night in Game 5, yeah, it gets interesting. What do you think about the locker room stuff that's been rumbling around with the Celtics? Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that kind of stuff comes out a lot whenever a team's been together a long time. It kind of makes sense. You just kind of get tired of each other, especially if there hasn't been like a lot of winning. Even in franchises where there has been a lot of winning, like the Bulls didn't like each other. The Warriors, by all accounts, didn't like each other. Or don't like each other. Like, there's some weird friction there, even though the big 3 seems to really like each other. Why are you panicking? Jimmy won't let them lose 4 straight. I'm not panicking. I just want them to take care of business. I don't want this to draw out. I don't want it to be like, oh, God, here they go. Apparently, the direct quote from an anonymous player was, I'm tired of pretending I like these guys. Yeah, I saw Kevin O'Connor say that. I'm interested as to who that would be. My guess would be an end of bench guy. But that is a hilarious quote. I'm tired of pretending like I like these guys. That's a hilarious quote. Who do we think could have said that? You think Grant Williams? That could definitely be a Grant Williams quote. It gets really spooky if we win tomorrow. We'll see. I expect the Celtics to win tomorrow. It's really Game 6. Like, if the Heat fuck around and lose a Game 6, then it's like, oh my God. I think there's only been 3 or 4 series that have gone to 7 after a team was down 3-0. I think it's only been done 3 times actually. And of course, no team's ever won. Live right now. Praying the Celtics don't come back 3-0. I am concerned for John Morant. Suns coaching search coming to an end. Another horrible mock trade. Get in here. No, there's no Mavericks news today. I couldn't find anything. I have started some prospect research, and again, my prospect research is researching other people's research. Yeah, the Mavericks fucked around against the Blazers. But But I've only done the top 3 guys in the draft. So nothing that pertains to the Mavericks really. But Wembanyama, I was just watching some stuff. I think Wembanyama could actually. This was a really impressive stretch right here by the Celtics. By the way, the Heat looked like a college team to start the second half. They had a 9-point lead at one point, and I thought, oh my god, here we go. Like it's over. And then it was just an onslaught by the Celtics, where they remembered how to shoot threes. The Heat couldn't remember how to score. Jimmy was terrible in this game. So if I'm the Heat, I'm like, okay, Jimmy was bad. Like his counting numbers were fine. We'll look at it in a second. But Jimmy was not very good in this game whatsoever. Kyle Lowry was a disaster, and I don't know, he might be hurt. It kind of sounds like. Bam was an absolute disaster. And even with all of that said, we were in the game. And it just kind of slipped away. But we kept knocking on the door. And the Celtics played lights out in the second half. They were incredible. So we'll see. Feels like every time, like, this is just who the Celtics are. You know, I can't believe we're like, you know, this is the shit that really pisses me off. I'm not going to lie to you, right? When it's 3-0. And the Celtics, they play great. Tatum plays great, and it's a 3, you know, they win, and it's 3-1, and everyone's like, oh, Tatum came to play. Like, yeah, Tatum shows up. Like, everyone's just, you know, glazing Jason Tatum. Like, yeah, he showed up. Like, he shows up when it's you know, those big elimination games. He shows up to play. It's like, why didn't he show up in game 3? And I saw, like, one Tatum fan account that was like, where's everyone who was talking about Tatum not making a field goal in the fourth quarter? It's like, yeah, well, he didn't, and they're down 3-0. So let's hold off a little tiny bit. Do the Heat mess around and bring Hero back? No, it does not sound like Hero's coming back. At any point, really. Yeah, the Celtics do need Jaylen Brown to figure it out. He was not very good in this game either. That was a nasty dunk. That was the game right there. I knew the game was over at that point right there. I mean, if Kyle Lowry is like actually hurt, maybe that changes some stuff, but Kyrie went live right now. Oh God. What were you going to say about Wemby? Oh, I was going to say about Wemby. I honestly think that there's a world in which he could win Defensive Player of the Year 1. For a couple of different reasons. One, he really looks like that level of a defender. I don't think it's possible. Well, I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's impossible. And I think that there would be some narrative stuff on his side. But some of the stuff I've seen, like I was like reading some stuff from people who are like, this is the best defensive prospect I've ever seen. And it's crazy to watch his highlights. Like there's some shot blockers who are just like like this is how Mo Bamba. I always shit on Mo Bamba, but this is how Mo Bamba was coming out of college. Where it was like, yeah, he's just big and he blocks shots because of that, but he doesn't really do anything else. But you watch Wemby play defense and it's like, oh my God. The way that he moves on defense and stuff. Kai's talking his career on IG Live right now. Is there a way for me to tune in and watch that? On the computer? Instagram. Oh God, man. I don't even know what my password is or my username or anything. Okay. Oh God. Oh God, password incorrect. Oh God. Said if he makes a career decision, he will announce it himself on IG Live. Says the media are being themselves for no real reason. Makes a career decision. Like where he's going, I'm guessing is what he means. I do not fucking remember my login information for Instagram at all. Oh, maybe it's because I had cap lock on trying to write my password. That possibly be. God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Said he's a free agent and in no rush to make a decision. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm in. Search Kyrie Irving.
God, I'm sure they have a plan for you, but God has a plan for me, and it requires me to be more aware of the decisions that I'm making and being more responsible. Like I had to learn from that. But I wanted to talk about this social media aspect because don't let this shit mess with how you view other people. Like you guys barely know me on a 24-hour day basis, but social media make it seem like you know who I am. And I do my very best to humanize myself so people can understand, you know, the points of view that I come from. I don't want to be in any situation where people feel like I'm ever over speaking or
what did I miss?
Or I'm not here to be more than just a hooper. Like I have so much more to offer the world than just putting leather basketball in the hoop, that because I've been in this entertainment space for so long, it can get confusing between people thinking that they know me as a basketball player or thinking that they know me as a human being. So let me just make my point. To all the youngins out there, to all my peers, to the older generation, I just pray that we understand how powerful this tool of social media is when you are going through things in your life and you're trying to make decisions, but you can't let go of this addiction. This social media aspect of our life is an addiction. If it's messing with you in real life and your real life emotions, it's an addiction. And
Agreed.
I've been able to admit that I've been I've been addicted to social media before, and I've had to deal with going to therapy, doing things to strengthen my mind, from the algorithms and all the extra stuff that goes on. I've had to really cleanse my mind. I've had to deprogram my mind from being called to social media all the time. And I'm seeing this aspect of social media, where it's really bothering people in real life, take a whole different turn. It's getting more serious. And I just want people to be aware that I'm dealing with the same things that they're dealing with. I'm dealing with the same things you're dealing with. No matter how much money you have in this world, no matter how much opportunity you think other people have, there's one goal that I have being on this earth, and that's to help humanity become who it was designed to be, which is a peaceful collective. We were all meant to be at peace. Peace of mind is everything. Peace in your heart is everything. And I try my best to share that with everybody when they ask me for advice. Yo, Kai, what did you do to this? And
okay, we got a lot to talk about. So I missed the juicy parts. I agree with what he's saying, though. If social media is changing your life for the worse, it's time to do something about it. But I will say, Kyrie saying on a live, he's not in any rush to make a free agent decision is not necessarily the best of news for the Mavericks. I'm just being real. I feel like stuff like that coming out never really means that the player is going back to the team. Very rarely. But I don't know. I don't know with Kyrie. I still feel like if the Mavericks give him the contract he wants, he'll stay. I have actually been more at peace with the idea of Kyrie leaving. Only because, I don't know. It's definitely not an impossibility, one. And two, the Mavericks will have like some money to spend in that case. But I'm on his Instagram live. I'll let you know if he says anything. Yeah, okay. Keep me updated. Tatum went off, 33 points. Jaylen Brown, 7 of 16. He's really not been good. Derek White had a good game. Grant Williams, 14 off the bench. I mean, the Heat shot 40% from 3. The Celtics shot 40% from 3. The Heat shot 25% from 3. And had 15 turnovers. So, definitely not a good performance from Miami, but I think they'll be okay. I really struggle to see them losing 4 straight games. It's an interesting circumstance because it's like, yes, teams that go down 3-0, it's like historically, obviously, yes, they've never won in the NBA, but how many times has the clearly more talented team gone down 3-0 without like a major injury thing? I feel like it doesn't happen very often, So it's interesting. I just can't imagine Jimmy Butler losing 4 straight games. With a chance to go to the finals. I can't imagine Eric Spoelstra losing 4 straight games with a chance to go to the NBA finals. It's really difficult. But really quickly, though, going back to that Kyrie stuff, I'm just thinking about this. I was talking to a friend about this a few days ago. If I am the Mavericks, I'm going to Kyrie before the draft and saying, hey, here's what we're going to offer you. Like, we'll offer you what you want. But we need to know. We need to have, like, a good idea of what you're doing before the draft. That way we know what we need to be doing. Do we need to go get another ball handler? Do we need... Because, everything changes if you don't think Kyrie's staying. The Celtics will not be the Heat 4 games in a row. Yeah, and another thing, too, is it's like... So, the Celtics, who we all know and understand, are just all over the place, up and down, shit their pants every chance that they get, every time you think that they've turned the corner. Dude, fourth quarter of that game 6 against the Sixers sixered their pants. And Tatum did his thing, and then they went on and they dominated game 7. All right, everybody, including myself, thought the Celtics have turned the corner. Like, they've turned the corner. They're going to take care of business against Miami, and then it's all up for grabs. It's all up for grabs for them. And then they lose 3 straight games, twice at home. So you just don't know. You don't know with them. A-Rod and Derek Jeter being at the game gave Boston fans hope. Yeah. If I were the Heat, I was like, hey, you guys are not coming in this game. All right? You have to understand. You guys are not allowed in. When the Mighty Bucks fell, I figured it was a chip on a silver platter for the Celtics. Yeah, I mean, it really was. That should have been. Take care of business, do your thing, play your game, and you're in. He says he's been trying to change his name to Kai, or his tribe name, because the name Kyrie Irving has been taking for narratives and controversy. Just resign, dude, please. Just please. Also, Heat, take care of business tomorrow night. Take care of business tomorrow night. That's all we want. I can't do it. I cannot do it. But if Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent are injured, that's spooky. I hope he doesn't think changing his name gets him out of likeness deals or something. Dude, I don't know. It's Kyrie. You know, he's one of one. There will never be another Kyrie. I still feel confident Mavs sign Kai. I think so too. I think so too. But I'm not 100% confident. But again, I want to know. If I'm the Mavericks, I need to know. I need to know. Because it changes everything I'm doing this offseason. Whether or not... I'm not waiting until August. I'm not waiting until mid-July. It just cannot happen from a team building standpoint. Anyways, so yeah, Celtics force a game 5. We'll have a game tomorrow night. I am happy about that as a basketball fan. I really did not want to go 8 days without a game. So I'm happy we're getting another basketball game tomorrow night. And it would be fun. I tweeted this out last night. Like, the Celtics fan base is the absolute worst fan base I can imagine getting a 3-0 comeback. And people were replying to me like, no. The Suns, the Lakers. No, dude, trust me. It will be those Celtics. I promise you. I promise you. And you know what? I'm begging for a rule change because my team is affected. Draft after free agency. It's the right thing to do. Move the draft until after free agency. That way teams know what's going on. I need to know what's going on with Kyrie Irving. Which fan base is worse, Celtics or Eagles? Well, it's a little bit... It's somebody who grew up a Cowboys fan. Notice how I worded that. Grew up a Cowboys fan. Not somebody who's a Cowboys fan. Somebody who grew up a Cowboys fan. It's the Eagles. What if the Knicks came down from 03? I feel like they are the Warriors fans would be the worst. I'm telling you right now, no, they would not be. Because Knicks fans, maybe. But also, the Knicks have had nothing in like 30 years. So, like, give them a little bit of something. And yeah, they would go crazy. They would be wild. Warriors fans, yeah, they would be a little bit annoying about it too. But once the Warriors are gone, I'm telling you guys this. Once like Steph retires and maybe the Warriors kind of fade away a little bit, their fan base is going to shrink dramatically. I already see so many people on Twitter who are like Steph stans who are like, I'm done with the NBA once he retires. This shit's a joke. Like, I'm so done with the NBA. Like, every time the Warriors lose, they're always like, this is so rigged. I'm like never watching the NBA again. Never watching the NBA again afterwards, after Steph retires. Yeah, the Celtics are obviously keeping Joe Mazzulla. I'm sorry. I don't know what anyone thought otherwise. But Celtics fans, here's the reason why I don't really care about Boston sports. I have no real reason to. None of their teams affect my teams. Every single one of their teams outside of the Red Sox are in completely different conference or league than the team I root for. So I don't really care that much about them. But they are like they are the most successful sports city in America over the past 10, 20 years. And anytime they don't win, they're so fucking annoying. Anytime they don't win a championship, like they act as if they're fans of A Dallas sports team. It's like, oh, man. Oh, damn. Just bad luck. We have bad luck. No, you don't. You have great luck. You want to know what it's like being a Dallas sports fan? It's miserable. It's terrible. It's sneaky. Maybe I'll work on a video about this. It is sneaky. One of the worst sports cities to be a fan of. Celtics need to demote Mazzulla to assistant and get Monty Williams. That would never happen. Has there ever been an instance of that happening? Unless it's an interim coach. Has there ever been an instance of a coach getting demoted to assistant on the team that they were previously head coach of and staying? At least we're not Detroit. Didn't the Red Wings win recently or something? I don't know. I don't know anything about hockey. I tagged you on Twitter for the clip Kai saying he hasn't made a decision. I don't see it.
I am in no rush to make a decision.
Oh, God.
But I am in no rush to make a decision. And the speculation around my name from all these individuals that get on TV and have these personalities. What's up, babe? I'm on live here. Just give me 1 second. I'll be there. All these people that have, these platforms. And I'm talking about the TV personalities, the sports folk that try to mix sports with politics and lifestyle and shit like that. Like, when they speak on my name and they're talking about potential teams that I'm going to, can y'all please, I respectfully, like, I'm asking you, please stop paying attention to that. Like, I am in no rush to make a decision. I know what's ahead of me for the rest of my career in terms of what.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. That actually makes me feel better. That actually makes me feel better about Kyrie staying, hearing it. Because everybody on Twitter is talking about him going, or everyone on TV is talking about him going to the Lakers. Like, he's straight up saying, do not listen to that shit. Oh, we're good, man. We're good. Welcome back, Kai. Welcome back, Kai.
I just wanted to clear some things up, like these platforms and with politics. I'm asking.
Welcome back, Kyrie. Good to have you back. Let's get to work. Get to work, Kyrie. I don't see this as great news, to be honest, dude. I mean, him saying, don't listen to people on TV talking about where I'm going. Everybody on TV has talked about him going to the Lakers. I don't know. The whole I'm not making my decision anytime soon stuff I don't like personally, but just from a team building standpoint, like, I would like to know if I'm the Mavericks. Hold on a second. I gotta mute a few words here on Twitter. Wait, can you only add muted words on your phone? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'll check out my letterbox. I'm shamelessly plugging myself. As a Mavs fan, I won't believe him until he has signed the contract and has been faxed to league office. He's just saying he isn't blind committing to anything and he wants to pick the best option. Once all options are there, the best option will be the Mavs. It really all comes down to the Mavericks, I think. Like, I just think if they give him what he wants contractually, like, Look at my lists. Disney movie rankings. Superman movie rankings. Batman movie rankings. X-Men MCU. So it goes from best to worst. I think this Hulk movie is so shit, by the way. I should do a letterbox. I don't watch enough movies, though, is the thing. I'm not a cinephile. Oh, there we go. All right, hold on. I'm muting a few words for the next few weeks. Just I don't want it. I don't want it. Boom. I should make a letterbox. I was actually thinking about doing this thing on Twitter where every day I listen to a new album and give a score on it. I thought that'd be fun. All right, let's talk about something not fun. Ja Morant. So earlier this morning, I guess, Ja Morant had some cryptic Instagram stories. Love you, Ma. Love you, Pops. You the greatest, baby girl. Love ya. Followed by bye. Which, a little bit alarming. Now, there was an update less than an hour ago. Police in Tennessee conducted a welfare check on Ja Morant following cryptic messages on his Instagram story Wednesday, with officials telling TMZ that he's just taking a break from social media. So people did check in on Ja Morant. He's fine. The sheriff's office spokesperson told TMZ Morant was suspended from all team activities. So, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but wellness checks, somebody has to request one, right? Like the police can't just like show up. Am I wrong? I could be wrong in thinking that, but I'm pretty sure the police don't just like, hey, saw your Instagram post. We're just making sure. Well, I'll say this. I tweeted out after the gun thing that I was worried for like the mental well-being of Ja Morant, and people were like replying, like I was hoping that he would get legit help, and people were replying to me like, dude, what, you want him like institutionalized? Like, dude, it's just a gun, like who cares, it's his legal right, like it's and I'm like, dude, this is not normal behavior whatsoever. Okay, you know, this like self-sabotaging behavior that Ja Morant's been on the past few months is not right. Like, it's not normal behavior. He is a mega millionaire, a $200 million contract, on top of being the face of Powerade, on top of now being the face of Nike. It is not normal behavior and healthy behavior to be this self-sabotaging. So I do think something's legitimately going on, Ja Morant. I'm not I'm not trying to be an armchair psychiatrist here, but like, clearly something is not right with Ja Morant. And these type of posts right here, and you know, he says that he's done with social media, and that's why, and that could very well be true, but this is dude, I've been around people who have been going through some serious mental health stuff, battling some serious demons, and have like done similar stuff on social media, and they're always a cry for help. So I hope he gets the help he needs. Says he's just a young man that clearly needs nurturing and love. I think he needs professional help, like legit professional help, not like, hey, go to this place for 30 hours and we'll get you out of there. We'll have a sit down interview with Jalen Rose. He'll throw you softball questions. We'll get you back out on the court. Like legit help. I hope he gets it. Truthfully, I do think so. I don't think this is normal behavior. I really like the self-sabotaging, the levels of self-sabotaging John Morant has been on. It's just not healthy. Legal right to carry isn't flashing pistols in cars, riding down crowded neighborhoods. Well, to be fair, I think the car was parked. Everyone can see. Okay, well, I don't like how charged that sounds. But, I mean, it's just not normal behavior. So anyways, I hope that part of this suspension is the Grizzlies like legit helping Ja find the help that he needs. That's just what I hope. Because he's only 24, and that's old enough to not be doing super dumb shit all the time. I'm not giving him that excuse. I'm not giving him that excuse, but I just think there's clearly something not right going on. What do you think of what Spence and Brandon Jennings said about Luka? I'm going right to the source. Was this the Mavs MFFL account that I got Mark Stein yelled at because of me? I always kind of lose track of all of them.
I think defense, obviously. I think he does give effort to a degree on that end, but like it can be.
What does Luka need to do to make the Mavs a legit championship contender? Like, what does he need to do personally as a player to help get this team right?
Get in shape.
Look how scared Spence was to answer this question. Spence was so scared to answer this question.
Ooh. Well.
I don't know.
I mean, I think. Shit.
Look at that face. Come on, Spence. Just say it. Brandon Jennings is going to say it.
That's tough. That's my guy. And I love Dallas too. I think defense, obviously. I think he does give effort to a degree on that end, but like it can be higher level, and you want to get to a space where they're not like hunting you, obviously, because it's never good when your best player is getting, targeted on defense. And then I just think like whenever the right roster gets around him, he's probably just gonna have to, probably change play style a tiny bit. Yeah, that was it. I mean, BJ got his opinion.
Listen, get in shape.
Spencer was playing that so politically correct. Spence was not playing with fire there. I'm trying to figure out this lighting situation. Trying to find something that works. Because I'm not this pale. I think he enjoyed his time here, so he doesn't want to burn bridges. Like, yeah, true. Luka gonna torch Spence next time they play. I mean, what he said is not wrong. Like, this is not even bad. He said he's got to get better on defense, which is true, and their play style is gonna have to change a little bit when they get the right roster. Like, he that's a good answer.
Stop bitching.
You think he's out of shape?
Yeah, stop bitching. Why are you always crying to the refs?
That's what the players do.
Yeah, but God, but like it's 4-on-5 every time.
Like, I don't like that shit. Like if you gonna get up the court and then wait till like a dead ball because the nigga out or something, but
yeah.
And not to compare.
Agreed.
You don't think he's in shape?
Is he in shape?
I don't know.
All them beers?
I don't know.
No, just playing.
I mean, I think to his shape, I think he's in shape. But if you're talking about that elite level, I can be at the rim every single time and defense, or like.
This is really funny because, like, I mean, it's not just me. A lot of people have been saying it, to be fair, but I've been saying this for like 3 years, and every time I say something about this on Twitter, I get destroyed. I'm having to go to Google Translate to translate something from Slovenian to English, and it's always like, kill yourself, something along those lines. So it's just kind of funny to me. It's like clearly and obviously what he needs to work on. They definitely put Spence on the spot for sure.
When we talk about Giannis Bron type of like shape, well, no, but
See,
he can hoop.
And you always say too. You always say guys training. Like guys aren't training to go to the So that's why I'm saying you're not in that type of shape.
And it's crazy when like the outside world listen to, they'll see a player, he's playing 37 minutes, and then
you can hide in the game.
I mean, dude is putting legendary numbers for someone out of shape. It's more so. Kai just asked all fan bases to stop talking about him in free agency on Twitter, says he sees it all and doesn't like it. You think Kyrie's ever seen one of my tweets? I have been nothing but good to Kyrie. I've been nothing but positive about Kyrie. So I've always wondered, like, I know for an absolute fact, I had been I'm looking up Kyrie on my Twitter right now just to see what I've said. Said he can't show up at crypto without people on Twitter popping off. I'm telling you guys, I don't think he's going to LA. I think a lot of NBA players like having weight on them. Guys that are heavier guard. No. It's not necessarily about Luka losing a lot of weight. Like him being stocky is why he's as good as he is, because he can just bully guys relentlessly on the post and stuff. And like, if he loses that part of his game, he loses quite a bit. But it's more so the conditioning aspect. Just being able to get all up and down the floor every possession and being locked in the fourth quarter, because he's fallen off in the fourth quarter. I think that's like a problem Embiid has too, and people say Embiid needs to improve his conditioning. Like, look at Jokic, man. Jokic is full speed sprinting up and down the court every possession. It's crazy. And Jokic is pretty skinny. Like, he's just built a stocky way. But it's like Jokic is in shape. But his conditioning is crazy. Like, his conditioning is next level for a center who does as much as he does. And I do agree that, like, changing the play style a little bit will also help conserve his energy. I'm hoping that the Mavericks, but they need to add some guys. Like, it's not really fair to compare Luka to Jokic and their play styles, because Jokic is playing next to, like, at any given time on the floor, every player playing alongside Jokic can dribble, can pass, can bring the ball up the floor. Typically, throughout Luka's career so far, he's only been on the floor with like one or two of those guys at a time, at most. And everybody else is just kind of waiting for Luka or somebody else to set something up for them. So I don't think it's necessarily that fair. But if the Mavericks, Kyrie doesn't want us to make any assumptions on it. So you know what? We won't. But let's just assume a certain point guard's on the team again next year. You've got that guy. Josh Green is capable of it. Maybe they go out and get a couple of guys. Like whatever they do for another wing player needs to be somebody who can make decisions with the ball in their hand on offense.
Leave me alone! Akira! Leave me alone! Akira!
Wasn't Bogut on the Bogut's not European. Do you like Anthony Black? I'm getting into more prospects tonight. So far, I've just looked at Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and Brandon Miller. And what I've come down, like, Scoot Henderson is just miles better than Brandon Miller. I feel like teams are really fooling themselves that they take Brandon Miller second overall. Truth be told. I don't see it. I don't see what puts him over Scoot. Besides the size, which is a big thing for sure.
Like I see all y'all ads. I see all y'all ads. I see all y'all mentions. Okay, I said it. I see all y'all stuff y'all be saying. I see all y'all memories. I get it. I'm just as excited as y'all are. But you gotta chill though. Come on, like we can have some fun with it, but like I see.
I'm so up and down on how I feel about this live. Because him saying stop talking about me on TV and stop listening to what they're saying on TV makes me feel good. But this whole, like, I'm excited about my free agency does not make me feel good. Miller higher floor, much lower ceiling? No, I think Scoot has a way higher floor. I think Scoot has a much higher floor. That athleticism and first step and ability to get to the paint and his playmaking ability immediately. He's going to immediately be a good offensive guard at the very least. I'm still here saying Grady Dick, he's 6'8" and doesn't need to fix his shot at all. I feel like I would be more open to Grady Dick the more I learn about him. And that has been true so far. I don't think the Heat is an impossibility. Grady Dick is such an awful defender. If you open this, make sure the sound's off. Okay, stop sending me these dumbass TikTok memes that with copyright sound. Hot take? I take Scoot at 1. Yeah, that's an incredibly hot take. I was like legit watching some Wembanyama. I mean, I've seen Wembanyama play. Like I've seen some of his games. But I was like watching like the film breakdown highlight packages on YouTube. Jesus Christ. Like I'm sick. He's going to the Spurs. Really. Absolutely sick. It's not fair, man. It's not fucking fair. Sir Thompson is someone I hope drops to 10. I'm doing the Thompson. So the next ones on my list are the Thompson twins. And then I'm going to go Jarris Walker and Hendricks. Dick jersey's going to sell like crack. Oh, yeah. Every frat party you ever go to will have at least 10 to 12 Dick jerseys. Can you imagine if the Mavs got lucky and got the #1 overall pick? You would never hear the end of it from me. I'd be so annoying. Luka fans would hate me because I'd be like, we could trade Luka now. I'd be saying that as a joke. I was already planning on that being like my immediate #1 troll thing if the Mavericks won the lottery. Was like, what does a trade package for Luka look like? Like, we can move on. There will not be a power forward available at 10. Yeah, I don't think so either. But there's some good guys though. Like, is Kaysen the guard from Kentucky, right? Kaysen Wallace. See, that's why. Like, if I feel like Kyrie's walking, I want to know. I would be cool with Kaysen Wallace immediately being our two guard. I would be so cool with that. Defensively, he's like a dog. I'm still convinced Leonard Miller jumps in the 10 and everyone is stunned on draft night. But we still got a month to go until then. So a lot's going to change. There's going to be a lot of smoke screens. Dallas is Case's hometown too. Oh, we're not drafting him then. Mavericks never draft the hometown kids. Never. Well, I hope John Morant's okay. I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because I do think he does need help. Sad situation, really. Dick is 6'8", best shooter in the draft. There's some other stuff like I've seen on Twitter about Grady Dick that I do like. I like that he's not just a shooter, but I'm not going to lie. Some of the stuff I've heard about him, I'm like, that sounds like Bertans. Like, Bertans was a good passer. That was like a sneaky great trade of Bertans when he was in San Antonio. Like, he was a good passer. Would Orlando swap 11 and Wendell Carter Jr. for Tim and 10? No. Wendell's too good, man. You guys got to stop putting him in your mock trades. Like, Wendell is nice. Would Orlando swap 11? Oh, I already read that. Imagine lineup of Hardy Dick. Yeah, I can already imagine it. I can already imagine the hilarious jokes we already got from the Hardy Wood. Rangers win. Boom! Best team in baseball, baby. Imagine if Hornets fell to 10 for Dick and Ball in the Clit jerseys. ESPN sources. This is from last night, but it's just funny. ESPN sources, the Phoenix Suns are advancing 4 coaches to meet for interviews in the coming days. Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers, Kings associate Jordy Fernandez, and Suns associate Kevin Young. Doc Rivers. Oh, can you imagine? I saw a hilarious tweet that was Doc Rivers and Chris Paul coming together for one last mega choke job. Bill Simmons says can be Kevin Young. Yeah, okay, I was going to say that. Bill Simmons said it was going to be Kevin Young, and Bill Simmons weirdly knows stuff with the Suns. I don't know why. But not just Bill Simmons. There were some Suns people who are sources. I'm using air quotes because, like, I don't think they're airtight sources, but they definitely hear rumblings. But there have been some Suns people who are saying Kevin Young yesterday, too. So it does seem like Kevin Young, who's an associate head coach. So we'll see. I've seen some Suns fans upset by that. But we'll see. I mean, with the rookie coach, you really don't know. I know it's scary because he knows because he's a season ticket holder for the Clippers. That's why he knows Suns stuff. But with rookie head coaches, it's easy to be like upset and kind of underwhelmed, especially when there's like Nick Nurse, who's a championship coach. But you never know with rookie guys, rookie coaches. And if it's somebody who is already in-house, then that means that the players like him. I always think it's weird to fire a guy and hire one of his assistants to be the coach, but where does Ayton go in a redraft of 18 draft? He might fall to 8-10. We did that recently, actually. Who are you targeting in free agency if we got 30 million cap space? Fred? No, not Fred at all. Immediately, I'm going to Jeremy Grant. Immediately. I'm going to Jeremy Grant and I'm saying, dude, get out of Portland. You're not winning here. All right, come play next to Luka. Pirtle. Mazzulla will go from the scapegoat to the GOAT if they somehow come back. No, Mazzulla will get no credit. Everyone will call Tatum the greatest player of all time. Cam Johnson. See, like, I'm not that giddy about going after restricted guys. Just because you usually have to overpay like crazy to prime away. And it's usually just a waste of time, truth be told. Jeremy Grant reminds me of Christian Wood on the wing. No, Jeremy Grant's like an actual good defender. Would you feel better about a dominating trade with no Kai money? No. I'd actually feel worse about it. Because if Kyrie leaves and then you have like $30 million or whatever it is to spend, go and get Jakob Poeltl. Come on, guys. Been on an hour like a religion. Hit that like. That's right. If you guys haven't liked the stream, man, make sure you do so. Helps me out tremendously. It's YouTube now. We're having a great time, of which we are. Later today, I'm dropping a video about my 5 favorite role guys in the playoffs so far. Somebody said I should do that. Feels like a good time to do that. Yeah, 9,000 subs. We did hit 9,000 subs. That's cool. 10,000. I want to get there by the start of next season. Every time I put forward a goal, I fall so woefully short. But that should be a very easily attainable goal. 10K by the start of next season. That just feels actually like lowballing it. But Mavs need to go younger. I hope we can get some good young players that can fit. Yeah, I mean, that would be great. That's why I'm not like super, hell yeah, they should trade the pick. But, I mean, if something comes up, something comes up. Luka, Poeltl, Bertans, Dick, Green. That team would suck. Wait, what's going on in that scenario where Bertans is starting? What's how they buy a star over Dwight Powell? I'd have a shot. Give me about 8 months in the gym. Thoughts on calling Cowherd AD to Mavs for Kyrie? Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. I don't buy it. That makes no sense to me at all. I can't for the life of me figure out a reason why the Lakers would do that. What player can the Mavericks target with the MLE? I really haven't looked too deep into the free agent class. I've just been more focused on draft stuff, and then we'll look at the free agent stuff when the time gets a little bit closer. But I mean, it really depends. If the Mavericks lose Kyrie, they're going to have the full MLE, I'm pretty sure, which definitely changes things. That's kind of why I'm saying I'm becoming more and more at peace with the idea of losing Kyrie, just because it opens up a lot of money for you and you can do different stuff. But I do want him to come back, though. Like, that's ultimately, I very much want him back. That Luka D'Lo Obama super team going to be insane. Oh, my God. I don't want Mo Bamba on this team at all. For one reason only. He sucks. But also, beyond that, he's one of those players who, like, every fan base tricks themselves into. Cam, if you're still in here, you can attest. Every fan base tricks themselves into, and it's just like, they get so annoying about him playing. Why is he not playing? Why is he not on the floor? He should be on the floor. He should be getting 20 minutes a game. And it's just like, ugh. Remember when Cowherd said LeBron could go ahead and retire now? The league's in good hands with Ben Simmons. You know what? You want to know something? I really do respect Colin Cowherd. Don't watch his show at all. But at least, at the very least, he has some absolute batshit insane takes that he stands by. I got to give him some props there. Like, he has some batshit insane takes. He lets them fly. He's unapologetic. And one of the big difference, like, you're probably thinking, well, don't you hate ESPN for doing the same thing? Colin Cowherd is by himself on the show. What I really dislike about ESPN shows is that there's 17 people on the set at any given time.
He is absolutely remarkable. But for the first time in 10 to 12 years, I look at the NBA, which I've watched for 4 decades, and I say this now with Ben Simmons. Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro. You can go. You don't have to. You can hang around. Still great, but you can go. We're all good here.
Oh, my God. What's so funny about that is it's like I can't even in my brain remember when Ben Simmons was as good enough to warrant this. Like, I think it's just because of where the Ben Simmons thing has gone. But I like cannot for the life of me put myself in the headspace where it's like, oh, well, Ben Simmons was doing crazy shit. So it's like, it makes sense. It doesn't even register in my brain. Ben Simmons is technically still on the Nets, yes. I think if you still have JaVale, AD wouldn't be too bad. AD can play the 4 and JaVale the 5. Oh, dude, no, listen. The Kyrie for AD thing, yes, I would do that 100%. What I'm saying is it makes no sense for the Lakers at all. Side bias for other Twitter says Luka was in Kyrie's IG live audience. Doesn't surprise me. Luka's probably like, what is he about to say? What is Kyrie about to say? What the hell is he about to say? I just searched Ben Simmons on my Twitter. I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom. I didn't really start tweeting on Twitter until 2020, unfortunately. I've had my account since 2014, but I never tweeted on it until 2020. So I don't have anything from the era where this was happening. I was pretty open to the idea of Ben Simmons on the Mavericks. Just because I thought the fit was really interesting.
I never bought into it with Blake Griffin. Despite what he did last night, I've never bought into it with Anthony Davis. Russell Westbrook doesn't drive me to a TV to that level. Certainly didn't when he broke into the league. But when I watch Ben Simmons play, and again, I don't know if the Sixers are special, but when I watch Ben Simmons play, it is just a gut feeling.
When the hell was this? Like, I can't even in my brain get to where Ben Simmons was. Where it was like, yeah, he's good. Like, he's in the face of the league. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a defensive player of the year level guy forever. I mean, 17, 8, and 7. Without shooting threes. I mean, it was special. But was it really like, hey, LeBron, like the hand of the league, the league is now in the hands of Ben Simmons? What's this on Reddit? Compilation of Nick Wright's jabs at Nikola Jokic in the last 3 years. Nick Wright is another guy who, admittedly, I do have some respect for in the sense that he will shit all over guys and he will stand by it. Small sample at Nick Wright's jabs at Nikola Jokic during the last 3 seasons. Nikola Jokic wins the MVP his first MVP season. He would be the worst MVP since Dave Cowens, the worst MVP in the last 30 years. Look at everyone who has won the MVP in the last 40 years. Then list the people who you think Jokic is going to finish his career ahead of on an all-time pyramid. It's just Derrick Rose. Ooh. Yeesh. See, I've never understood the Jokic stuff. Just because, I feel like if you watched him play, it's just like, if you ever watched him play, I don't know how you could ever feel this way. It's impossible for me to believe that people are watching these playoffs and watching what Giannis is doing and what Embiid is doing, saying, yeah, Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball. I would have less of an issue with Jokic winning MVP if the voters who voted for him overwhelmingly had some shame, some humility. Okay, well, when was that, though? Everyone is asking, Nick, will you apologize to Nikola Jokic? Well, listen, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry that I wanted to hold Nikola Jokic to the same standard that every great player has been held to. I just wanted him to earn it in the postseason after winning all the regular season awards. He's a great player, and I've acknowledged that he was a top candidate the last 3 years, even though last season he had him fourth behind Luka Dončić. Hey, man, leave Luka out of this. I said this last year. If he hadn't unjustly won the previous 2 MVPs, I would have voted for him. I said that this year. I'm telling you guys, that's why Embiid won. Like, it's clear and obvious. Yeah, comparing Jokic to Embiid in the playoffs. But Jokic had been good in the playoffs, though. Like, he made the conference finals in the bubble and had 2 separate 3-1 comebacks in that postseason. And it's like, okay, sure, he got bounced in the second round against the Suns, who went to the finals, and then got bounced in the round 1 against the team that ended up winning the finals last year in the Warriors, and he had like Facu Campazzo and Will Barton. So, like, never really, not that fair, honestly. But it's not like he's been a disappearing act. He's only lost in round 1 once. Dude, he averaged 24, 9, and 5 when they made the 42% from 30 when they made the conference finals in the bubble. I always thought that shit was like too crazy, and then you compare him to Embiid when it's like, dude, like, okay, so Embiid's never made it past the second round. We all know that. But let's just look really quickly. Career 27 point per game score. Great. 24 in the postseason. Ooh. All right. 2017, 2018. 23 years old. It's a young guy. 2017, 2018, he scores 23 points a game. In the regular season, that number drops. Field goal percentage, 43%. Stinky. Drops a full 5 points. All right, 2018, 2019, he scores 27.5 points per game in the regular season on 48% shooting. 27.5 points per game. 20! And it's hilarious because that was the closest they've gotten. 42% from the field versus 48. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 48. Then 23 points per game in the COVID-shortened season. 47% from the field. Got swept. And dropped 30. Okay. So the one time your playoff point per game average is higher than your season 1, you got swept. Okay, but that's not really his fault. 2020, 2021, 28.5 points per game on 51% shooting. Dominant season. Numbers a little bit lower. 51% from the field. But, 4 turnovers a game? He was terrible in that series against the Hawks. He really was. He really was. Then last year led the league in scoring, 30 points per game. Playoffs, 23 points per game. This year led the league in scoring again. 33 points per game. Playoffs, 23 is fucking 10 points, dude. God damn. Like, Jesus. And Dirk is the top 20 player of all time. Incredible for a second-round pick. Dirk was not a second-round pick. It's like, I still don't understand really how all of that got brushed aside. Oh, Jokic. Oh. Okay, I was just a little bit confused because... Oh, I didn't read... Okay, wait. I am a little bit confused. Oh, you're comparing Jokic and Dirk. Okay. Well, I mean, if Jokic wins a finals this year, he will be rated higher than Dirk all time. Like, he just will. 2 MVPs... a finals, a championship, a finals MVP. Will that be fair? I don't know. Like, Jokic legit could be one of the better players. Like, you have people who really do this shit. Like Ben Taylor, thinking basketball, who are like real legit historians, basketball historians, who know their shit, who say that Jokic is the best offensive player in the history of the sport. Also, so cringy how he openly cares about MVP. Who, Embiid? I do agree. Can you imagine if Luka made that comment that Jimmy made after Game 4 about how he gonna chill and have a few beers? Yeah, I don't really care. So Luka, God, I can't believe the Mavericks missed the playoffs, man. So Luka's second year in the league. Luka's second year in the league as a 20-year-old. 28, 9, and 8. Dirk is a top 20 player of all time. Incredible for a second-round pick. Dirk was not a second-round pick. Just tuned in. Do we already touch on the Worrisome John Morant update? Yeah, we talked about it. 28 postseason. 31. Oh my God. Fuck, I can't believe we didn't get to see this. I can't believe we did not get postseason Luka this year, man. What a depressing time. What a depressing time. Dirk was a lottery pick, I believe. Dirk was a 9th overall pick. He was a top 10 pick. 31 points per game. His first series against a stacked Clippers team on 50% shooting. All right, then 27, something light, 27, 8, and 8. Right, LeBron averages. 3rd year in the league. That postseason, 35 points per game. 8 and 10. Shooting numbers up as well. Then last year, 28 points per game, 9 boards, 9 assists. We'll round up. Incredible numbers. Postseason, 31 points per game. Jesus Christ, man. Is Joker past Dirk all time? He'd have to win a ring. I think one ring puts Jokic over Dirk all time, as much as that pains me to say. What were Jaws' posts? Just tuned in. It was basically some very cryptic, weird, him saying bye on social media, like just cryptic stuff. That's a little bit alarming. First playoff game of his career as a 20-year-old, 42 points, 9 assists. You know, something light. Second game, 28 points. Game 3, hurts his ankle mid-game, still gets a 13-point triple-double. Then this was the moment. Like, I already knew Luka was amazing. Game 4 against the Clippers in the bubble was like, oh my God, this guy's like otherworldly. 43, 17, and 13, including the game-winning 3. That was like, oh my God, this guy is everything we could ever hope for, and then some. Then 22 points, and then 38 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. In Game 6, fast forward to the next season, 31, 10, and 11. On the road to win Game 1, 39, 7, and 7. 44, 9, and 9. 19, 6, and 6. This was probably one of maybe his worst playoff game. 42, 8, and 14 to take a 3-2 series lead. Fuck. And was this the game where he like scored or assisted on like 80 to 90% of their points or whatever it was? Something crazy like that. $46, 7, and 14 in a Game 7 loss. This stat, 35, 10, and 4 against the Suns in Game 7 in 30 minutes. Like, if dude had to, he was going for 50 or 60 points. Game 1 against the Warriors was an absolute stinker. And so was Game 5. Prime Jokic is the second best player I've ever seen behind Prime LeBron. It's not that crazy of a thing to say. Like, it might be recency bias, but Jokic will never be on Dirk. Yeah, he will be, man. That Knicks game was one of the best ends of a game I've ever seen. The end of the year was disappointing, but with a jumbled up West, it was interesting until after the Kyrie trade. I'm sorry, but we overhyping Jokic? I really don't think we are, personally. What he's doing is pretty incredible. Especially because, I mean, it's been 5 years now of Jokic like being this good. Like people are saying this is a newer. It's not. Like Jokic has been this good for a long time. You know, I think this is probably the best he's ever been, just in terms of like the way he controls the game now. It's just at an incredible level. But I don't think it's that crazy to say Jokic is like having one of the better peaks currently than anybody we've seen in a long time. Who's your all-time favorite NBA player? I mean, obviously it's Dirk. Obviously it's Dirk. Jokic should be a 3-time MVP. Yeah, I mean, if he didn't win it the last 2 years, he would have won it this year easily. The Idol is currently the lowest rated HBO series of all time on Rotten Tomatoes with a 17%. Oh, Weekend. Your flawless resume is about to have a mark. Why should voting be based on narrative? I've always hated that. That's always the way it's been, though. I know. The Weeknd is scaring me with some of the stuff he said. I think if Kyrie isn't on the team next year, it's Luka's turn for the narrative MVP. Well, I think people would come around to giving it to Jokic again. Embiid, most certainly not. Giannis is going to have a steep hill to climb after losing to an 8 seed as the 1 seed in round 1. Like it's going to be difficult for him. If the Celtics pull off this comeback, Tatum is a prime candidate. Steph is definitely sneaky too. Who will take one for the team and do the funniest thing ever to Sam Levinson? I don't like do the funniest thing ever because I never understand what it means. Like, it's obviously based in context, but like, I think the origins of the meme was like killing this person. Like, who's gonna do the funniest thing ever and kill this person? But sometimes that's not the context. I don't like that meme. Booker's gonna have some MVP chatter. I just don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get it. Is The Flash coming out tonight? Booker's very good as shown by the playoffs. He's just not the Luka dog in him. I just don't know if Booker's going to put up the numbers you need to put up in the regular season. And in order to win the MVP. But I could be wrong though. If the Suns make some like smart moves, they'll definitely be good enough to have an MVP, I think. Yeah, and Booker's had a hard time staying healthy as well. But if Luka has a great season and the the Mavericks are good, he'll definitely have a shot. Yeah, we watched the Kyrie stuff as it was happening. I don't really have much to say. Like, I don't really know what to say. Like, I hope he stays. Booker's second best on his team. MVP would be wild. I mean, Booker was not the second best on his team in the playoffs. Was looking at the lottery range teams in the draft. Would LA do a 17/filler for Tim? Is that sounding too low for Tim? Oh my God, I'm getting blown up by spam risks. LA, the Lakers, do they have 17? 17 and filler for Tim. What would 17, well, like, what would filler from the Lakers even be? Filler to get to 20 million, because that's how much Tim is making. Beasley and Bamba or something? Gross. Gross. Like, Vando's too much. Slightly should Dallas trade the pick? I don't know. I really don't. They shouldn't get married to either one idea. I do know tomorrow on stream, since there's no game to talk about, assuming like nothing crazy happens between now and then, but it's the NBA, so you never know. Tomorrow on stream, we're going to look at my top 100 player list, and we're going to figure out who are some stock risers, who are some stock fallers, who's moving up, who's moving down. KCP, probably a case for a riser. We'll just go through these guys, figure out who's moving up, who's moving down. The moment the finals ends, we'll update this list, and then we'll get right into off-season shit immediately. Looking at every player that might be available. Remember, we did that last year. And it did turn into the Christian Wood trade stream, but because it happened in the middle of, like, in my 8-hour stream. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember who was in my top 10. Just want to give myself a little refresher. Does Mobley move down a little bit? Aaron Gordon, offensively, is a little bit icky, but defensively, he's been a beast. Brunson definitely is a riser. Brunson riser. Garland, not very good in the playoffs. The bonus, you're dropping, buddy. You're dropping a lot, probably, if I had to guess. Julius Randle this high. That ain't happening. You're dropping, buddy. Book is probably going to rise up a little bit. Harden's definitely dropping. Sabonis is to you as Kyrie is to the ringer. But see, I felt I was respectful with his ranking, though. I had him like ahead of Fox. Jimmy, you're in the top 10. Wait a second. Okay. Strange formatting here. Embiid. Jokic, I'm sorry. Jokic, I'm sorry. I failed you. I'm sorry. Embiid, you're out the top 5 entirely. Giannis, you're out the top spot, but I'll keep you in the top 2 probably. I failed you, Jokic. I should have known better. I'm very disappointed in myself for not knowing better. Very disappointed in myself. That was really out of character for me. So out of character for me. I can't believe I bought into it. I'll make up for it. I'll make up for it. Don't put Curry over Luka. YouTube sucks with comments and emotes. I wanted to type something and add the no cap emote. Time for Slightly to switch to Twitch. I'm not switching to Twitch. I'm already too deep in the game. When can I buy my favorite team is trying to kill me t-shirt from you? Oh, we're working on it. We're working on it. The fully delusional clothing brand will be the biggest clothing brand of all time. Bigger than Ralph Lauren, bigger than Gucci, bigger than YSL, bigger than Hermes, bigger than fucking The Gap, all combined. And multiplied by 3. Oh my God. I just saw something. I can't believe I just saw it on what I just saw on Twitter. I'm so shocked as to what I just saw. I'm blocking the person. I'm blocking the person that just put that shit on my fucking timeline. Oh my God. If you do album reactions, you should do it on Twitch. Yeah, it was porn. It was Sims porn. Oh, there's an update on the number 2 overall pick. Since around the league that they are leaning towards taking G League Ignite guard Scoot Henderson at number 2 overall. That's what they need to do. Scoot Henderson needs to go 2 overall. All right, I'm about to cut the stream off. I don't really have much more to say today. About to cut the stream off. I'm going to record a video about my favorite role players. That will be out in a few hours. Make sure you guys check it out on the channel. Bigger than Tom Ford, for sure, easily. Not even remotely close. Gross. Bigger than Abercrombie and Fitch. What could Charlotte get for LaMelo? That's what's crazy is you don't even, you could do... You could do you could do LaMelo and Scoot Henderson easily. Like, those two could definitely coexist next to each other. Anyways, 9,000 subs, that means nothing to me. It does. I love you guys. Thank you. But it does mean nothing to me. 10,000 is the number. And we are 98 away. And by 98, I mean 998. 998. Knocking on the doorstep. I don't think people understand how happy LaMelo will be getting 10 wide open threes from Scoot a game. Yeah. That would be a great duo. So make sure you guys gas up the video that comes out today. It's going to be a very good video. Going to be a very good video, and I'm excited. I'm going to, how long ago you talked about Kyrie? It was pretty early into the stream. But I'm excited to watch some of these, excited to watch more from these prospects. I'm ready to get to a point where I can comfortably talk about the draft prospects with you guys and what I think about them. I have a pretty decent track record. A pretty decent track record when it comes to, like, prospects. I had like a whole Google Docs thing about the draft a couple years ago and who I really liked. I should try to find it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out today. A bit of a shorter stream, but not a lot to talk about. Tomorrow will be a bit of a longer one, I think. We're going to look through the biggest risers and fallers in the playoffs so far. And I love doing that shit. I just love lists. People always make fun of lists. They're fun. I love them. I like them. Oh, I didn't talk about Steph Curry. I'll talk about him tomorrow. I'll talk about him tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming out. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Regular content being uploaded onto the channel. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Video dropping in a few hours. Make sure you guys check it out. I'll be live again tomorrow. See you guys then. Remember, these streams are always available on VOD. You can always go back and watch them. Love you guys. Bye-bye.